Hey, what's up guys? My name is Tori and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is titled, What's Your Excuse? And the reason for this title is because when we find out what our purpose is and God tells us what we're called to do, we give him a bunch of excuses as to why we can't do what he's called us to do. If anybody's like me, I am very good at talking myself out of doing things out of my comfort zone. I'm good at always telling myself and God what I can't do, and I, on purpose, don't take into consideration what I can do and what God can do through me. And instead of magnifying how great God is, I magnify how great my problems are, and I magnify everything that I'm not. So I'm going to start off by reading Exodus 3 and 10 through 14. Come now, therefore, and I will send you to Pharaoh. This is the Lord speaking to Moses. That you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. But Moses said to God, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and that I should bring the children of Israel out of Egypt? So he said, I will certainly be with you, and this shall be a sign to you that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you shall serve God on this mountain. Then Moses said to God, indeed, when I come to the children of Israel and say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they say to me, what is his name? What shall I say to them? And God said to Moses, I am who I am. And he said, thus you shall say to the children of Israel, I am has sent me to you. And I want to also go into chapter 4, verses 10 through 13. It says, then Moses said to the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither before nor since you have spoken to your servant, but I am slow of speech and slow of tongue. So the Lord said to him, who has made man's mouth, or who makes the mute, the deaf, the seeing, or the blind? Have not I the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with your mouth and teach you what you shall say. But he said, O my Lord, please send by the hand of whomever else you may send. Moses used a lot of excuses, just like I do, when it comes down to this YouTube channel, doing the things that God has called me to do. I have too made some of the same excuses. I said I can't do it because I may sound uneducated. Or sometimes I stutter and I get tripped up over my words, and I don't want people to look at me. You looking at me right now, I don't like this. What will people say about me? There's someone more qualified than me. I'm really shy and quiet for those who don't know me. In this passage, God was saying that like everything you're not, I am. Everything we need God to be, he can be that for us. He is the I am. He's not confined to space and time. He just is. He can't be explained or described. He just, what is he to you? Whatever you need him to be, he can be. And he was saying, you know, did you create you or did I? Because you're telling me everything you can't do, and I'm telling you everything you can do and everything you can be. But you want to give me these excuses as to why you can't. And as scary as it may seem, yes, our purposes are so much bigger than we are. And I guess that's the scary thing, looking at it just like, you know, in your own strength, in your own finite mind of thinking you can't do it. But that's what God is for. The word tells us in 2 Corinthians 12 and 9 that his grace is sufficient for you, and his power is made perfect in weakness. So no, it's not easy, but God takes all of us through a process of pruning to get us to where he would have for us to be. So we go through seasons of difficulties and trials, of things not going according to the plan that we made, and we question whether God really said it or called us to it, and we contemplate giving up. And know that if God has called you to do something, he has already equipped you to do it. Yes, the times are hard and things get difficult, but God is saying that he will be with you wherever he sends you. We're talking about the God who knew me before I was even formed in my mother's womb. The God who created me to be all that he ordained and called me to be before the foundations of this world. That he thought of me. He placed things on the inside of me. He knew me before the world began and then placed me in this world for such a time as this. God is good. So it's like, how dare we tell the Creator who placed things on the inside of us what we can't do and who we can't be because of excuses from A to Z, and whatever negative thoughts or things you told yourself or whatever things people have told you and that you accepted and believed. And no, God is saying that who made your mouth? Who made you? Did they make you? Did you make you? No. It's important that we don't take the things we think about ourselves or the things that people said about us as things that God says about us or things that God thinks about us. So God gave me a revelation about this through a pen. Let's say I created this pen. I placed ink on the inside of this pen. Everything the pen needs to fulfill its purpose is already on the inside of it. On its own, the pen can do nothing. I can set it on some paper and it will not start writing. So on its own, it's nothing, right? But when I pick it up and put it to some paper and begin to use it for its purpose and what it has been created to do, it does its job. But what if the pen didn't want to do its job? What if the pen felt inadequate? Mind you, this is a brand new pen, never been used, and the pen is telling me that it feels inadequate, like it doesn't have enough ink to do what I need it to do. It's telling me that it doesn't feel like it's enough. It's not enough. And if I created this pen and I know that it is filled with ink, it's never even been used, it's never even touched paper before, how are you going to tell me that you don't have enough ink in you when I know what I placed on the inside of you? After this pen has given me all its excuses as to why it cannot be used for me to write something down on paper, it tells me to just use another pen. Yeah, I can use another pen because I have several different pretty colors of pens. But the thing is, although I do have other pens, I wanted to write in pink. I needed the pink pen, and I'll use the other colors when I'm ready to use them. But I desire for what I write down to be in pink. So yeah, I can use somebody else, but it wouldn't be pink. They would be who they are. Thing is, when God wants to use you, it's for you. It's your purpose, and what he has called you to do is not for anyone else. Like, I want you, and I want what's on the inside of you. I want to use you for my glory. Even when you feel inadequate and when you feel like you're not enough, begin to speak life over yourself. Stop using excuses. You know what to do with those excuses? Write down your excuses. Write down your negative thoughts, what your negative labels, whatever people have said about you, whatever you have thought of yourself. Write them down, scratch them out, and begin to write scriptures or positive affirmations about who you are. Like, I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You have to begin to speak those things over yourself and believe them. Speak them over yourself every day. Every time you make an excuse to why you can't do something, speak life. Do what God has called you to do. He said that he will be with you. That's another thing about this pen. The pen on its own, it can't do it. But I will be with this pen, and I will be able to guide it and be able to write and tell it what to write because I made this pen. Not really, but figuratively speaking. So you will never be alone. God is there to guide you and to tell you what to do. He will put his words into your mouth. You don't have to worry about people's faces and about people looking at you. It doesn't matter. Do what God has called you to do, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Don't be scared to to say whatever the Lord has told you to say, because there are people out there who need you. There are people out there who need for you to walk in purpose. There are lives that are needing to be saved through you. So stop it and do what God has called you to do. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell to make sure you get all notifications. God bless you. Praying for you. God loves you. I love you. And be blessed.